We're live, and tonight I have a special guest with me, and we're going to talk about some very important information that I hope will be helpful to a lot of people. So while Facebook is building our audience, we're going to wait to get started and let some people get on here. Hey, so Leslie, if you don't mind, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your company and what you do.
Yes, ma'am. So my name is Leslie Brakefield. I'm with a nonprofit organization called I-58, located here in Chester, South Carolina. And what our ministry does is we focus on housing issues and concerns. We started out with new construction in 2017, and then we saw the need for existing homes to have that needed repairs. So we have partnered with South Carolina Housing Trust Fund, and the 5 counties that we can service is Lancaster County, Chester County, Union County, Fairfield County, and York County. And so through the South Carolina Housing Trust Fund, we could put roofs on houses. We're working on doing HVACs. And then here recently, we just partnered up with Duke Energy. And so we can do some weatherization, refrigerator, and HVAC programs through them as well. So we're very excited about this new opportunity. And thank you, Erica, for letting me come on today. And this is my first time. So just want to put the information out there. I'm really excited about this.
Yes, and so previously I have talked about in the past about the program through the South Carolina Trust program where they can put you a roof on, they can get you a heat and air system through the grant. And so you've had some people calling you from that live video, and that's how Leslie and I actually met each other virtually. Yeah. But Leslie, tonight I want you to give us the ins and outs on the Duke Energy program, because that is another one. So let's start with the refrigerators and what the criteria is. Who can qualify for a free refrigerator?
So the program is that you have to be an active Duke Energy customer. So that's one of the first criteria. The second criteria is that you have to allow us to run your annual usage bill. So the whole goal of this program is to lower your power bill. So with that being said, when they run your energy usage, if your refrigerator is 10 years old or older, or it has some leaks or cracks or something like that, we would be able to replace your refrigerator. Now, there are the other main criteria is income limit. So we have a chart. So just to give you a little bit of an example, if it was a household of 1, the max income that you could bring for one person household is $25,760. And Erica, I can send you the spreadsheet. I can put it in the comments, anything like that. It breaks it down all the way from 1 to 8 people in a household.
Okay, so you can qualify based on your income, and you must be a Duke Power recipient. I mean, you must subscribe to Duke Power. They must be your power provider, correct?
That is correct. Yes, ma'am.
Is there an age on the refrigerators?
10 years or older. Unless the seals are cracked or they're not functional. That would be the only way that if it was less than 10 years old that we would be able to replace it.
Okay. Now, can I get a double door with ice maker? No, it works.
No, ma'am. So if you had a 15 cubic foot refrigerator, we replace it with the like size. So with that, if you had a 17, we would go up to an 18. The biggest one that we could get would be a 21, and that is the standard, not the side-by-side door, not the water, the ice in the door. It could have an ice maker in the freezer, but you wouldn't be able to get the luxury one.
Okay. So now does renters qualify for that? Like people that's renting their house, or do you have to be a homeowner as well?
This is actually, I'm excited about this part of the program because this is actually one program that we can help renters. So if you are a renter and the Duke Power bill is in the renter's name, then again, we would pull the usage and then you would qualify if the refrigerators met the criteria of 10 years older and are leaking or anything like that. The renter would be able to get a new refrigerator.
Okay. And then I have somebody that's on here from Florence. Now, is Duke Power doing that on all of their coverage areas, or are they only doing it in certain areas? So if they are a Duke Power recipient, subscriber in Florence, would they be able to contact them about this program, even though I know you don't service that area?
I could ask that question to the person that I deal with at Duke. I know that they had said Lancaster, York, and Chester. I'm not sure about the ones that are in the lower part of the state that were maybe bought out from Progress or some of those other ones. This is the DEC, which I think is the Duke Energy of the Carolinas.
Okay, so it wouldn't qualify if you're under Duke Progressive, is what you said?
That I'm gonna say that right now, but I will get that answered for you.
Okay, and then they could probably reach out to Duke Power. What's the name of the program? So if they're reaching out to Duke Power, they could, possibly call customer rep, just in case other people are watching the replay or something like that.
Right. I don't have their actual telephone number, but I can get that for you.
Okay, we can drop it in there.
Right, because it has to run through we're considered, I-58 is considered a service provider for this program. So,
okay.
So it would have to go through a nonprofit that is in that area that can service them. So I will definitely find out what I can.
Okay. Now, is there an application process? How does that work?
Yes, ma'am. So on our website, I actually was able to upload the application itself. It just asks for, ownership, square footage, but there is an application process. There's also part of that application is signature saying that we can enter the premises. So it gives us permission to the contractor to come in, do the weatherization, do the assessment, the appliance person to come in and remove and install your new refrigerator. So there is an application process. You can either download it from our website or you can call us and I can email it to you, or I can mail it as well.
Give us your website so I can put that on the screen.
www.I58helps.org.
Okay. And so they can get the application there, and that's correct that I have on here on the screen.
Yes, I think we do go by lowercase I, but I think if you capitalize it, I think it'll work as well.
Okay, so I'll make that correction right now.
And it's under the Duke Weatherization. So at the very top, there's a tab that says Duke Weatherization Program. And under that, it gives you the breakdown of the income per number household along with the application.
Actually, I can, I'm going to just bring up the website to share my screen. So then that way, people can see it.
Okay.
So I'm here on the website. Lowercase I 58helps.org, and I'm scrolling
At the very top where the black line is,
okay.
There's the third one over, says Duke Weatherization Program. Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
that's highlighted now in orange.
Yes, ma'am.
And then here. And then I can just, and then, oh, it's got all the income on there, and it's really easy to fill out.
Yes, ma'am. So if you want to, we like to try to, because we've got so many different programs, there's a little form right there in the middle of the page. It's called an inquiry form. That just lets us know that somebody's seen the website and that they're interested. So it asks a couple of questions. Do you rent? Do you own? Who you have energy provider with? Is your water heater electric? How many people in your household? Your income? And then if the heat, so if you have natural gas, so if your heater is natural gas, they don't do anything, it's all electric. So that inquiry form just allows us to say, hey, okay, somebody's interested in the program, and then it was afterwards is when I uploaded the application. So for somebody that maybe don't have a printer or something like that, if they need us to mail it, we can do that. But the application is there. One thing about the application is on the there's one page of it that it's okay for us to permission to enter the premises. If you sign it not in front of us, you need to get it notarized. And again, that's just a legal piece that says you got it notarized. It was signed in front of someone. So it's kind of covering us that you have given us permission to enter your property.
Okay. So I'm going to just share that one more time. And that's the download. That's the 7 pages.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right here. And then then you have those same questions. And then it's giving you the refrigerator size and everything. And then you sign it. And then the authorization to release information. But you said if they don't sign it in front of
that
you.
That second page, that page right there. No, go down, right, scroll down. No, not that one. That one don't have to be notarized. It's that one.
Okay. And it's got the items there for them to notarize it.
Yes, ma'am. Also, if you fill it out online and you scan it back, or you fill it out and you scan it back in, I attach that inquiry form, which I just got an inquiry form. So someone just kind of went ahead on the website and filled that in. A couple of things that we need is we need a picture of the refrigerator. So I like to get them to take a picture of the refrigerator, kind of standing back, getting the whole view of the refrigerator. And then every refrigerator is different, but there should be inside on the back somewhere that has that make and model serial number on it. And it also tells the year. So all that information, I need a picture of that. And then in order to, if you want to send the picture, I'll give you the telephone number that you can send that to, text it to, if you want to.
Okay. If you would go ahead and, I think I'm making a mistake here. Then we can go ahead and put that on the screen as well.
Okay. You ready?
Okay, so I-58 helps. We've got that. And then what is then the phone number? Yes.
803 209 5553. The inquiry forms are coming in. I'm excited.
I am too. I'm glad this is helping. out. So let me put that. I don't know what happened, but it was 803,
209
803, 209.
5553.
Okay. So now it's up on the screen. So that number. Now I saw on the application where it's asking if you have Fairfield Electric. Now, do they have a program like this for Fairfield Electric, or is there a particular reason for those questions that, name those other utility companies?
No, they don't have programs. I've talked with York Electric and I haven't gotten a hold to Fairfield Electric yet to see if they have a program. That I reckon that I probably should take or just show Duke Electric, yes or no. I probably should change that. But this was me just learning the program and trying to figure out. So they're definitely, I think that needs to just change and say, are you a Duke Energy customer? Yes or no.
Okay. Now for the refrigerator, and what's the turn time? As far as once you fill out the application, what's the wait period to actually get another refrigerator? Like how many weeks or days does it take to do that?
So I really can't answer that yet because we just Monday got approved. They submitted 2 applicants. I got them approved from Duke on Friday of last week. So it's been busy. I'm just now working on it today. And then I submitted 3 this morning and I got 2 approved back today. So the approval from Duke Energy or their usage report from Duke Energy is not taking that long. Now I've just got to get them ordered and the vendor and all that stuff. So really the first 4 are going to be my trial and error and see how it takes. So once I do this maybe a month, I can give you a better idea. But I do know that the refrigerator vendor is already stocking some of these in stock. So it'll just be basically getting them on the schedule. So, I mean, I would hope that once I get approval, it wouldn't be no more than about 2 weeks, but I'm just still playing with it right now to know.
Okay, because I know that, we do new construction and a lot of appliances are on back order just from COVID in general if you go in the store to buy one. So that's why I was kind of just wondering, what the turn time would be. Now, do you know when this program will end?
As far as I know, until Duke Energy runs out of money, it's there. The lady there is. So if you're in there's a piece in the Kershaw area, CARES, that's in Kershaw. They have been doing this program for 2 years. So I mean, there's a history there. I just found out about it, a month ago. And then in Great Falls, GRASP is also just starting the program. So right now, those are the 3 nonprofit organizations that are participating with Duke with this program. So, CARES has got a history of doing about 17 refrigerators a month, occasionally. So once we get all the details worked out and the logistics worked out, I don't think that it'll be a very long turnaround, but I just got to get some of that worked out.
Okay. Now, I know we looked at the application. So is that application all inclusive? Will it automatically put the person in queue not only for a refrigerator but for a heating and air system? Do they kind of go through and analyze once they do the application and see what all things they qualify for?
Yes, ma'am. So what I have to send, and I found this out by the first application that I did, I only had her sign the utility authorization release form. So I sent that in, and of course they had some questions. Does she do all heat or electric? So that's why the second person, I went ahead and had them fill out that entire application. So that way there wouldn't be any questions. I submit the application to Duke, so they don't don't have any questions. And then when I get the approval back, the approval says such and such customer is approved for tier 1, tier 2 weatherization, refrigerator replacement, and heating and air replacement. So
okay,
now, I did one today that was only approved for tier 1. So can I give you a little bit of details of what tier 1 and tier 2 means?
Yes.
Okay. So tier 1. So when we talk about tier 1 and tier 2 weatherization, tier 1 means that your energy usage was less than 7 kilowatts per square foot. So that's one thing that I need as part of the application is the heated square foot. And most of the time, if you don't know that, then I can get that off of the Lancaster GIS. So I get it by what the tax assessor says that you have. If it's less than 7 per square foot, the weatherization can have the contractor can come in and do a tune-up or a cleaning on the heating system. They can wrap your water heater. They can put LED lights in. They can install low flow shower heads or, on the very faucet, your sink faucet, those little aggregators that turn to make it sprinkle out water instead of just a big long stream of water. We can put up to 3 of those. We can do weather stripping around the doors and the windows. They may need to replace or clean the dryer vent. And then, of course, Duke Energy always does energy education. So that's your tier 1 things that can be part of weatherization. If your energy usage is greater than 7 kilowatts per square foot, you get all that I mentioned along with insulation in the walls, in your crawl space, in the floor. They do duct sealing, which is if you got any duct work underneath the house that maybe needs to be resealed. And then they could do attic insulation as well.
Oh, so you can get installation. This is all free?
Yes, ma'am. So as long as your usage for the year is correct. So, is with over that 7 kilowatts per square foot. I see the question, is this for North Carolina and South Carolina? Yes, North Carolina, I know that they are some organizations that do it for the North Carolina customers. I don't know that I service any North Carolina counties, but I can find out from my contact person what organizations can service some of the North Carolina counties.
As long as they are a member of a subscriber to Duke Power. Which Duke Power did you say? I'm sorry.
I think it's Duke Energy of the Carolinas.
Duke Energy of the Carolinas. So if you're a part of that, then I would probably reach out to Duke Power. Now, do y'all do light bulbs too, like they normally do?
So I didn't hear your question. I'm sorry.
The light bulbs. I know that they.
So we would change out the LED, so many. I think there is a limit on how many, but we can change out light bulbs. We can do. I don't even know what some of these are, but the chandelier LEDs. We can do globe LEDs. We can do LED 9 volt or 9 watts, and then we can do the LED A lines.
Okay. And then, so the biggest thing is the installation, the heating and air system, the refrigerator, and then you said, what was the thing about the water? I'm sorry.
That's okay. So, in order to preserve the water, so the water heater doesn't have to be so hot, you get the aggregators with under the faucets, so you're able to slow or not use as much water.
Okay. Now, what about water heaters? Are they doing anything with water heaters?
Not replacing them. We can wrap them to insulate them, and we can do some piping insulation. So, but to actually replace the water heater, they're not doing that right now.
Okay. And what about on commercial buildings?
No, ma'am. You have to be a individual metered, owner occupied, single family residence. But now that can include condominiums or manufactured homes. So this is one thing that I like again about this program is that some of the qualifications for South Carolina housing, the mobile home has to be less than 20 years old. With this program, there's no age requirement for mobile homes. So we can service, mobile homes.
So you said, so as long as they have permission from their landlord and the power is in their name, then they can qualify for these services.
Yes, ma'am. And part of that application, the very last page of the application that is online, is a landlord tenant form. And that is where, so like I know some rental properties, the tenant owns the refrigerator, and in some properties, the landlord owns the refrigerator. So whichever one it is, as long as the landlord signs that form along with the tenant, then we can replace that refrigerator for the tenant.
Okay. Say I'm coming through the program and I'm filled out the Duke Energy weatherization to see what I qualify as far as that goes. Now, would you automatically take my application to see what I would qualify under South Carolina Trust, so that way I'm not guessing as to what I need to do and what my next steps are?
Yes, ma'am. So the way we do, if you was to call in, we do an intake form. So on that intake form, we ask a lot of questions, just for the fact of we're trying to see what services we can provide to you. So if we get a weatherization program, an application, and we see that the income meets our South Carolina housing, then we're going to make a phone call to you or send you an email and say, hey, we've got this program. Do you need a roof? Do you have any leaks? I will probably do HVAC through South Carolina housing because we get more funding for South Carolina housing. In the Duke weatherization program, they only go up to $6,000 for heating and air. And majority of the units are probably 2 ton to 2.5 ton units, and that's over $6,000. So if we run it through Duke weatherization and the heating and air unit ends up costing $7,000, then the recipient would be responsible for that other $1,000. But if they qualify for South Carolina housing, that $7,000 would be covered completely under the South Carolina housing. So we are going to look out, and I say we, which is only me. We I-58, we're going to look out for what's best for you, and so we're going to just see what other programs we can qualify you for.
Okay. And then the next question. Okay. So you said that you can also do a verbal intake form because a lot of our elderly people may not have access to a computer or, the resources that help them fill out the application. So they can call this 209 number in order to do a verbal application and get them to the point where they can sign things and to do their intake, basically.
That's correct. So, of course, when we do the intake, we're going to ask more questions than what's on the actual Duke application. We're going to ask the same questions of, do you own the home? Do you have a deed? Because, one of the first things that I will do if I don't talk to you and you send the application in, then I go in and make sure that you are the homeowner of that house. So I'll have to go in and make sure that the deed is in your name, all that good stuff. So I kind of do that on the back side of the application, but we'll just ask a lot of questions. We're hoping to hear in the next couple of weeks if we were awarded another grant, which will be focused strictly on over the age of 62, which will help put handicap bars, do some things like that in a home. So God's got a lot of exciting things happening right now.
Okay, so you got South Carolina Trust, and then you got the Duke Power program. Are there any other things that I-58 offers that would, mean a lot to the people that are watching. What other services do you provide?
So I'm sorry, I was reading one of the comments that was in there. So right now we do a portable ramp up program as well. So say you had surgery, say you fell and you hurt your leg, ankle, or something, and you're not mobile. We do have a portable ramp system that we loan you for 3 to 4 months for your recovery, and then I have a team of husband and wife team that goes out and installs them. And then when you're finished with them, the next person in line that needs it, they get it. So that's been a wonderful service as well, because sometimes it's just you have the inability to get in and out of your home sometimes due to a surgery or a fall or a sickness. So that's another program that we do. We also have new construction. So we do a 900 square foot, 2-bedroom, 2-bath that we partner with York Tech. They're building a construction trade group. They build the house at York Tech in Rock Hill. We move it to a lot here in Chester, in the city of Chester right now. We haven't gone outside. We're on house number 3 right now. And that is our new home ownership program. So someone that's a new homeowner, that can get financing, then that house we actually sell to them for 15 to 20% less than market value, but we're not taking the housing market down. The 15-20% is basically like a second mortgage, which is a forgivable mortgage. So as long as you pay your first mortgage, you never have to pay that 15 to 20% less to us, because that's just giving you equity in the home the day you sign the paperwork.
So what kind of credit do you have to have for that?
Now, that is all up to the bank. We don't do any financing ourselves. So whoever buys our new construction house, they have to be able to go to their financial institution and get a first-time home buyer grant and then work through the institution. So basically, when we come to closing, we get the full, we get the check. So it's basically financed through their own financial institution.
Oh, okay. So they can use any bank they want to, but then there's a kind of like, I'm assuming like an overlay for the qualification once they get the pre-approval from their bank.
So basically the home ownership program, we focus on moderate income. So, we're definitely not going to sell it to someone that's going to flip it or going to buy it and then, resell it. We're wanting someone that is, part of the ministry is somebody coming into the community, being a new first-time buyer, and basically that they can, qualify for a loan for the amount of the sale price.
Okay. Now we got a question from Andres here. What if the home isn't in our name yet, but we have a mortgage? Would this help too? Like if they are about to close on a property, I think that's her question.
So usually I get that question a lot if it's what I'm thinking. So you don't, when I say own the property, it don't mean that you don't have a mortgage on it. It's just that if the deed, I couldn't be living in it and the deed be in your name, Erica. So you're letting me live in it. I'm not paying rent or anything like that, but I'm actually paying a mortgage. Maybe didn't use the land for something, but it's basically the deed is just saying that the land and that it's in your name, but then you have a mortgage and that's okay. You don't have to own it. It don't have to be paid off, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Okay. And then the next part, I guess, to her question would be, how long do you have to have owned the property in order, like if you don't have that 12-month history, but you want to, is there an exception to them looking at your 12-month history of utility?
So I think so with the Duke weatherization program, they have to calculate it. So if you don't have, say, you've only had 6 months of a Duke Energy customer, they're just going to take that 6 months and use some kind of calculation and get your estimated annual usage. Does that make sense?
Okay, so you can still, even if you haven't been at this particular residence for a whole 12 months, would you just suggest that they apply and then let them do the calculations and tell what exactly they would or would not qualify for?
That's what I would suggest, unless you were just 2 months in. I mean, I would say at least 6 months, and then let them calculate. If I did just have one and I didn't actually look at the application very well, and I think she'd only been a new customer for a month. So there was not very much that they could calculate off of a month.
Okay, so then that way they can kind of see patterns and stuff like that if you do it for 6 months.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then they would just call in for the program that you're doing through York Tech as well.
Yes, so there's actually on our website, there's an inquiry form about repair side, and there's also an inquiry form on the new home ownership. So that it sends me an email directly, and then, I could give them a call and talk to them a little bit more, find out a little bit more information, give them a little bit more information. Our house number 3, we're hoping to move from York Tech next week to the lot, to its forever home, and then we've probably got about a month's worth of stuff that we have to do, build a porch, paint, do some stuff to finish it. So I'm hoping that house number 3 will be available and ready for move-in by October. So yes, I would love to have it sold, a commitment of some sort, so that way when we're finished, we have a new a buyer.
Okay, so you actually can get the property on site prior to the person qualifying. So like this one would be like an inventory home. Is that what?
I mean, yeah, we try to have it sold. Now, house number 1, it took us about 5 months after we finished it to actually get a buyer. House number 2, we didn't have it sold when it got on the property, because the property is already owned by us. So we already own the lot that it's going to.
Okay. Now, what if I have my own land? Could you bring one of those houses out to my own land, or does it have to be land owned by you?
It has to go. Right now, we're not doing it for people that own their own land, just for the fact of it's hard to, there's so much stuff that has to be done once it gets there, footers poured, foundations done, all that kind of stuff, that right now we're putting them on land that we have them. And right now that's just kind of like a Chester area thing. Now, maybe later on it may grow to other areas, but right now, the East Chester community is where we've got some lots at, and we've got 1 or 2 outside of that, but they're all in the city of Chester right now.
Okay.
That may grow, but again, we got to start somewhere. So that's kind of where we focus on at right now.
Okay. Now, the thing that you're doing with York Tech now, is York Tech doing that in other areas, or are they only doing it exclusively with you at this time?
Right now, exclusively with us, just for the fact of it usually takes them about a year, because they have classrooms, then they go out and they do hands-on. So of course, with COVID, this house number 3 got started at the fall of 2019, wasn't able to do anything in 2020, so they're finishing it the first part of 21. So in August of this year, they will start house 4, and hopefully by the time the school closes in June of next year, they'll be finished with house 4.
Okay. Now, if you could, I know with building materials going up until you can kind of get a fully executed contract, about how much are those properties running?
So right now, the first two houses that we sold them for 56,000 to about 58.
Oh wow.
They appraised for 70,000. Um, House number three is going to be a little different because it's in a different community. So we're going to have it appraised first to get the appraised price, to get a market value, and then we can take the 15% and then hope that with material cost, we're not going to go in the hole. So
Awesome. Awesome. This is so good. And if you would, in a month, if with the other program that's rolling out that you say you're gonna have more details on, I would be glad to have you back on to give us an update on that program and tell us, exactly how that works and, maybe help some people.
yeah, that would be great. That's going to be a federal HUD grant, and it's I can't even remember. It's a long acronym of names, but I know it's for, like I said, it's focused for strictly over 62, and that grant was there's three counties that will be able to service with that grant, and I hate to say Lancaster is not one of them because Lancaster's my hometown. I graduated from Lancaster High, and that's where my family lives at. But the counties that will be able to service with that grant is Chester, Union, and Fairfield. So that it was written specifically for those three counties. So we're just waiting to hear. I say no news is good news. So we did get an email that stated that they would hopefully announce the awards at the end of the month. So.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Got my fingers crossed for you. Thank you so much. Is there anything that we did not cover or I did not ask that you may want people or feel like they should know?
No, I think we covered it pretty good, and I just really appreciate the opportunity because I-58, we don't do advertisement, we don't do anything like that. I think the best advertisement and the best way that we can serve others is by word of mouth. So we will do the best that we can. If you call in, again, just kind of bear with me. I am a one-man, one-woman show, and as you can tell, I work all hours of the day and night. So, if you call, leave a voicemail, just give me a little bit of time. I do have started having some volunteers coming in to help me answer the phone. So if you do call in and it's not me, you don't have to specifically ask for me. And if the volunteers, just be patient with the volunteers because they're new. They don't know very much about it. They're just here to help me answer the phone so I can get a few things done. So I appreciate it. And anything I can do, you just, let me know. You've got the number, you've got our website. On our website, it has my email. So, my heart is just to serve others. So.
Okay. And I'm going to put the number back up on the screen real quick so that people can jot that down. And I'm excited about this. And I hope that a lot of people use this information and are able to utilize between the Duke Power, the South Carolina Trust programs. And it's just an awesome thing. I mean, it's, sometimes we think that things that are too good to be true are not supposed to be true. Well, this is one of those times that it's not a scam.
That's right. That's right. One of the biggest things is like I said, it was strange because the last Facebook time that you did, I started one day. I got 10 phone calls, and one of our questions is just to try to see how the word gets out. Is how did you hear about us or who referred you? And every phone call would be Erica Simpson. Next phone call would ring Erica Simpson. So finally, I said, who is Erica Simpson? This is the 7th call that I've got from you. And so she explained who it was. So that's when I definitely reached out to you and said, hey, I don't know what you did, but thank you. And we're working through actually serving some of those. So, so we're excited about it. And again, just thank you so very much for, having me on.
Yeah. And then, anytime that you've got a new program that you need to introduce, I am all for it because I try to, I tell them all the time on here that the rent that we pay on earth is service and helping out our fellow neighbor. No man is an island. And we've got to, even you help people that can never repay you because there may be someone that helped you that you could never repay.
That is it.
It creates our own karma. So, it's just a matter. And then if the money is out here and it's free, why not take advantage of it?
That's exactly right.
Things in life that cost you nothing. So I hope that people do reach out to you, log on the website, get the information, and get them a refrigerator, get them some installation, get them a new heat and air system. I know that I'm gonna be in touch with you because I'm gonna get some of my tenants to call you.
There you go. Also, we also have a Facebook page, and I've been praying about. Okay, we only have 500 followers, which I know that's a lot, but that's probably where I can update the best of what's going on because when we do roofs, I think we've done 7 roofs in Lancaster this year so far. So it's a lot quicker for me to post on our Facebook page. Look at what God's done through putting a roof on someone's house or something like that. So so definitely check out our Facebook page as well because that's where we get that's kind of like the most up to date success stories type things.
Okay, now what's your Facebook page?
I think it is I-58 Housing Initiative.
Just drop it back in the comments when you get off.
Okay.
That way people can go and like your page and see what you're doing and, continue to get help because like you said, there's programs rolling out and I look forward to you being back on here in another month and I'm excited about the new program and being able to tell people. So we're going to just wrap up. Remember to like and share our page on Instagram, Facebook, as well as YouTube. You never know who you may help. You may never know who needs this video to get their new heating and air system, their installation, help with their water system, as well as a new refrigerator for free. And like I said, landlords, you can, do the application and assist your tenants with getting them a new refrigerator or getting your property a new heat and air system. I like that part.
Yes. Well, the heating and air system, the only thing that we can do with the tenant is the refrigerator.
Oh, okay,
so we can't do the heating and air part with the
I was
tenant.
too excited, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
But at least what they say, free is for me.
That's right.
So if they only get a refrigerator and it didn't cost anything, it didn't cost my tenant anything, and it's something more energy efficient, then that frees up their money to pay their rent.
That's right. And then if you log on to our Facebook page and you see that you want to help in any other kind of way, there are sometimes that like I said, if they don't qualify for South Carolina housing and they do need a heating and air, but the unit's going to be over $6,000, if somebody out there that just wants to pass a little bit of blessing along, and maybe donate, that's what that donated money goes to. No donated money goes to my salary whatsoever. I go without a paycheck before I use donated money. We put it always back in the community. So, there may be an opportunity that somebody needs a heating and air. They can't afford the maybe $1,000 difference, but if I've got money that someone's donated to say, hey, put it back in to help the community, then I could pull from that money and pay the rest of it, and then still get them a heating and air. So, if you feel led or anything to donate, I can promise you that it would be used to put back into the community.
Awesome. Thank you again. And like I said, like and share this video, help somebody. Log on to i58helps.org, and they can be reached at 803-209-5553. You can take do your intake over the phone, which it doesn't get any better than that. and they'll see what all you qualify for and what they can get you. And this is just awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, thank you.